Today, of course, is Chafav, so story, I probably have told it, but for me, it's one of my favorite stories. I'm going to share it with you. And I'm sure I did, but I'll say it again with Rabbi. Now, the story here is with the father of this man. And I told you the story. He passed away at the beginning of COVID. Rabbi Moti Garari, he had a little shul in the corner of Kingston and Eastern Montgomery. They rebuilt it in the last few years. Very cute fella, fiery fella, Talmid Chacham. So you know his story, that the story was that his father, he's named after his father because he was born after his father died. His father drowned. And who was his father? Same name, Mordechai Gerari. His father then, as a student in university, and actually a respected member of the Communist Party, he drowned. He went to mikveh and bathed, and he drowned. He's in Yekaterinburg, in the city of Rabbi Levi, because Rabbi Levi and the Rebbe was Makar of him. And he became frum. Moishe became frum, became a Chassid. I mean, the story is written up in the Rebbe's diary. She tells the story there, but Chana. So his funeral, so Rabbi Levi held a fiery speech, and he spoke for maybe several hours. Everybody was convinced he'd be arrested after the speech. The entire city came, and Rabbi Levi made sure of it. It was publicized. It was a big tragedy. A young man drowned, maybe his wife pregnant. And he held a fiery drasha extolling the virtues of this, his father, of Hashem, Torah mitzvah, etc., because you have to remember that in theory, in communist Russia, in theory, a person individually could be observant. Cannot preach it and cannot to show, I mean, to work on Shabbos, but like in theory, it didn't say you can't think something. That was in theory, but not in practice. So they were certain that he'd be arrested, the Rabbi Levi, after this speech. Now, in the course of his speech, Rabbi Levi told the following story. This is that Rabbi Zachana said that many years later, people who were there would tell her about how this extraordinary, it was in the shul, I think he held it, packed, the main shul of Yekaterinburg. And that people remember the story and the stories he told in the eulogy, in the hesped. And this is a story he told in the eulogy. I have no idea how it fits in, which he didn't explain, but the story stands in its own right, and it's a very moving story. The story is that the Baal Shem Tov was the shochet in Mezhebush. And so once he wasn't there, and so somebody else is shechting. And Alexis was his name, Alexi. The hand, the non-Jewish hand that helped out, is watching the shochet prepare the knife. He said, that's not the way Yisraelik does it. Referring to Hashem. It's called Yisraelik. He was using water to hold the knife, or he was using his own saliva. He says Yisraelik was with his tears. As he's preparing the knife, that's how he prepared the knife. That's how it's done. That's all he knows, the way shchit is done. When Rabbi Levi told the story, he was crying also. How it fits in, I don't know, but it's such I can't explain what it means either. The story, it's very poignant that shchit, Hashem shechting, he waits the knife is sharpened with his tears. Just gives us a glimpse into the entire higher world, a glimpse into the world of Shem Havai. Rabbi Levi was arrested 5 years later, but this was one of the crimes. So they got, his case full, and they went after him. Right, friends, we sent you a kovet in English and stuff that Rabbi asked, requested. But on this day, we learned something about Leivik's Torah, so please do so. Of course, the day, Mishnayos, Chaim posted, I think. Mishnayos, so let's do so on this Meidadika day. Have a wonderful day, everybody. See you all God willing tomorrow.